Hey, so I was asked to read a passage from a favorite book, and honestly, when I moved to Denver, I sold all of my books, which I really regret. Um, but I have been slowly replenishing them, very slowly. But one of my favorite books was Shades of Grey by Jasper Fforde. I don't know if that's backwards to you or not. Um, and actually, Joe got me this copy because he knew that I loved it. Uh, and so it was the first gift he ever got me. But anyhow, I'm going to read you a passage from Shades of Grey, which is very interesting to me because it all has to do with, well, not all. It's an extremely good book, but the premise of it is that people can only see certain colors, and as a colorblind person, what do you know? It's right up my alley. So anyhow, I'm going to read to you the first little bit of the book. The title of the chapter is A Morning in Vermilion. It began with my father not wanting to see the last rabbit, and ended up with me being eaten by a carnivorous plant. It wasn't really what I'd planned for myself. I'd hoped to marry into the Oxbloods and join their dynastic string empire, but that was 4 days ago, before I met Jane, retrieved the Caravaggio, and explored High Saffron. So instead of enjoying aspirations of chromatic advancement, I was wholly immersed within the digestive soup of a Yataveo tree. It was all frightfully inconvenient. But it wasn't all bad, for the following reasons. First, I was lucky to have landed upside down. I would drown in under a minute, which was far, far preferable to being dissolved alive over the space of a few weeks. Second, and more important, I wasn't going to die ignorant. I had discovered something that no amount of merits can buy you: the truth. Not the whole truth, but a pretty big part of it, and that was why this was all frightfully inconvenient. I wouldn't get to do anything with it, and this truth was too big and too terrible to ignore. Still, at least I'd held it in my hands for a full hour and understood what it meant. I didn't set out to discover a truth. I was actually sent to the outer fringes to conduct a chair census and learn some humility. But the truth inevitably found me, as important truths often do, like a lost thought in need of a mind. I found Jane, too, or perhaps she found me. It doesn't really matter. We found each other. And although she was a gray and I was red, we shared a common thirst for justice that transcended chromatic politics. I loved her, and what's more, I was beginning to think she loved me. After all, she did apologize before pushing me into the leafless expanse below the spread of the Yataveo, and she wouldn't have done that if she'd felt nothing. So there you go. You should really buy this and read it. It's really, really fucking wonderful. So there you go. Shades of Grey, Jasper Fforde. I know I fucked up, but you know, whatever. It's live.